My name is Temitope Ajose and I am a dance artist and a choreographer. I would say my practice in terms of creating is really centered around myth, magic, psychology, character. I have a lot of work in the line of Jung, Carl Jung's work. He was a psychoanalyst in the early 20th century, and he does a lot of work around shadow self, archetypes, dream work, myths and fairy tales, as well as being a psychologist and kind of giving us a lot of the psychology that we have today. I'd say that's heavily influenced by him, and also Clarissa Pinkola Estes. A lot of her writings I really love as well. She gathers sort of folk tales from around the world and looks at them from a Jung lens, and I find that really influences my work, especially when I come to make work, that I've got these archetypes to really draw from. I've got this sort of psychological framework that I'm kind of delving into, and the imagination, the subconscious, the unconscious self, and the collective unconscious. So I think that really lands itself in my work. I love text as a somatic practice as well, so I find that text really sort of sifts its way down into the body, and that's where sort of physical language for me comes. Because we're in a time of austerity, I would say that what I'm seeing emerging is these grassroots projects, and more threadbare sounds a bit sad, which it kind of is, but people making from a very sort of more simple pared back way, that I think what's emerging is people's very idiosyncratic ways of making, because projects tend to be smaller and people are getting to the bare bones of what they want to make. So I think that's kind of, in a way, although sad and hard, is also quite exciting to see these more smaller projects with interests that people have maybe been holding for a long time, that they're sort of outworking in simpler ways or pared back ways. I would say one of the sort of challenges that I overcome was remaining a dance artist while being a mother. And I'd say particularly a decade ago, this felt really difficult and conflictive. Choosing to have children at a time where I was still sort of building my career was quite a struggle, actually. And I realised that it really does take a village. So I had to pull on people in my community and family to really help me with that. And then also speaking to choreographers about my needs as a mother. So that might be when the children were quite small, having them in the studio, breastfeed as well, and keep my connection with my children, especially when they were very young and needed me quite a lot, but still maintaining some kind of artist's life. But I think going through that really tricky, chaotic period was really important, actually, bringing my whole self to the creation period. And then now that my children are much older as well, I'm really pleased that I navigated that and kept my own identity also as an artist, and didn't fall away from the scene, which I think can happen quite a lot, because I think it's really important that all types of people are part of a dance community and are present. All the different voices and experiences need to be present in the process of making and also on stage. I think it really benefits the whole of the dance community. But for myself personally, I'm really happy that I kept my identity, because I am an artist. That's who I am, and I maintain that. And it means that now there's so much richness that's come from that. Also overcoming an obstacle and working through it and standing your ground really strengthens something internally. I would say two key things that I think are really important to sort of bear in mind, and this could be at any stage in your career, whether you're starting out or later on, is ask for help. I think it's really important that we don't sort of hide in the shadows of our own either making or trying to do something in the arts and become isolated. You'll be surprised how many other people might actually relate to the thing that you want to do, or have some really good advice or some sound advice or connections that you don't currently have. But you need to ask, you need to sort of put some of your ideas or your plans and your projects, just talk to a few people, and then things come back to you and it just moves you just a little bit further, or it might move you exponentially further. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's really key, and everyone has done it at some point. And then I'd also say is maintain your own identity. It's really easy to get caught up in the sort of current trends of making or trends that are going about styles of dancing or ideas that are current, you know. But if you have your own sort of peculiar type of idea, put that out in the world. You know, only you can be you. And I think it's really delicious when you sort of meet people that are kind of like in their own world, or they're really creating something from something within their own imagination. And I think it just keeps everything in terms of, again, the sort of ecology of dance, keeps it really thriving as well. So you're doing everyone else a service by being yourself.